Hello everybody, welcome. Today we are going to be talking about expenses here in Cambodia. So we're going to go through everything, or at least try to, and I'm going to be talking about our quarantine stay and the prices for that, as well as when we were in Phnom Penh, and then we're going to do Siem Reap as well. Those are the three we're gonna focus on, and hopefully this will inform you if you're planning to come here and stay for a while. When you come here, you're gonna need a visa. In the past, visas were sold when you came into the country, but now you have to have the visa before you enter. So you're gonna have to get it from your home country, so it's gonna vary in price. For us in Canada, it was $120 for the 30-day visa, and that's gonna be like cash or a bank draft. So you're gonna need that before you come. And then once you come, you're going to have to deposit the $2,000 for the quarantine 2-week stay, and that'll be given up front, and you will receive a blue piece of paper that is like your bank deposit receipt that you have to go give the bank after. So you give the $2,000 per person, and that's $2,000 USD. So not Canadian, not anything. It's $2,000 USD. Make sure you fork that up front. While you're in the hotel, you're stuck in your room, so you're not really having any expenses. All the meals are provided, but they do provide water as well, about 2 bottles a day. They come in like the packs of 16, and we had to buy a couple more, so we had like $20 so we could buy like extra stuff. Tip, big major tip, the food is just like everyday basic Cambodian food, probably similar to what many of the quarantine hotel stays are like. So if you are not accustomed to it, or you're more of a picky eater like we are, we're a little bit picky when it comes to eating, I definitely recommend getting food from the airport and bringing it to your hotel room. So we luckily stopped at the Korean airport before we made our way to Cambodia, and so we picked up some ramen. In hindsight, we probably would have picked up more and different types of food just in case, but we weren't really sure what we were getting into. So definitely add that to your budget if you are planning to come during quarantine. And so since we have gotten our money back from the quarantine stay, they give a breakdown of what was taken out from the 2,000 and why we are left with what we're left with. So I'll give you a breakdown of what we have left. So basically, the hotel got a cut of $965 per person. I believe that includes the hotel room as well as the food and water. All that stuff is like a part of the hotel service. Transport was obviously the bus that took us there to the hotel, which was $5 a person. The hospital arrival, which I'm not sure if that's like the nurses and stuff coming in to do our tests and whatnot, but it was $90 per person. Security was $45 a person, and the COVID test was $200 per person. So we were left with $665 each. And because we shared a room, I believe that the hotel price was lower for us because it was like split in between 2 people, as in like one room for 2 people. So both of our deposits went into it. So don't expect a whole lot from the $2,000 deposit. It's not all gonna come back to you, and you're gonna lose most of it. So next we're gonna talk about Phnom Penh, the main city, and more of like the tourist district, because that's where we're staying. The hotel we are staying at is 5-star hotel. It's great, by the way, and it's $65 a night depending on the room. The room we're staying in is super lovely, and it has a whole plunge pool that we could go into, very private, everything, and that's our $65 a day. As well as they have great deals, so you could probably get around that range depending on what you want. you could probably get a room for as low as like 30, maybe $40, and then rooms can go up to like 60, 70, 80, all that. It's varied, but like you can kind of see around like how cheap it is, and consider that this is a 5-star hotel, it's a really good deal. So the one thing that is similar in both Phnom Penh and Siem Reap is the tuk-tuk prices. Whether you're paying just like on the street or using Pass app or another like Uber type app, it's about $1 to $3 depending on how far you go. The farther you go is obviously going to make it more expensive. And if you want like special requests, like can you wait here for a bit, or can you show me to this and this and this type of place, all that. But typically you're going somewhere, it's going to cost $1 to $3. Typically in the hotel tourist areas of Phnom Penh, kind of expect to pay like North American prices if you're in North America, or a bit lower. Like the prices aren't as cheap as you would think they would be here. They can run a little higher. For example, this hotel for lobster, it's $90, which is very similar to North American hotels and other like resort type destinations. And there are places that are definitely much cheaper. Next off, we have the phone plans. They are extraordinarily cheap. I might be a little biased because I'm from Canada, and last time I checked, I think we are the most expensive country for like data plans and other things for your phone. So for us, it is crazy how cheap it is. I top up $10 US and like USD, and I can go for a while, like using full-on data without restrictions. It was kind of like a complete 180 for me in particular. It was beautiful. It was incredible. The prices are really cheap. Texting obviously internationally, or phone calls internationally will run you up. But if you're just simply using it for texting or data, you'll be good. I love thrift shopping, so we actually ended up going thrift shopping, but surprisingly, the prices at the thrift store are quite similar to what I would pay in North America. Maybe I just have a weird taste and like it's just a little bit more expensive because whatever. But yeah, so thrift shopping isn't actually as thrifty as I would think it would be here. But you're still paying super low prices if you like thrift shopping, so it's not that crazy of a thing. Enough about Phnom Penh. Let's talk a little bit about Siem Reap and the prices there. Like I said before, the tuk-tuk prices, Pass app, Grab, all of those are relatively the same price. I'm sure when there were more tourists and foreigners that were here, when business was booming, it was probably more expensive, but now you can get rides for $1, a couple bucks. You could go pretty far with that. And because the lack of tourism, there also is a lack of places to go. But the places that are open have really good prices. It is really cheap because they're just trying to get any and all business. So while you're in Siem Reap, you could be paying like 70 cents for a beer, 75 cents, like upwards to $1 for a beer. And that's like a draft where you can get like a big mug. And even cocktails, they're only gonna be like a couple bucks depending on what you want. We would get like this margarita that was like a jug, so it was like a vase of margarita plus a cup, and that was only $5.50 US. So that was a lot of alcohol. And yeah, you could just sit there the whole night and pay like $10 in total. And if you're by yourself, you could probably pay a total of $5 depending on what you get. Meals are $5 easily. The food is like, it's full meals for $5, which is like the greatest deal ever. Even when we order Food Panda, yes, it is more expensive than just going straight to the store, but we can get like outlandish meals for $35 and under. We got salad today and it was $5, something like that. It was very, very cheap. Michael had gotten his international license and then his Cambodian license so he could ride a scooter in Siem Reap. And so the scooter rental was $50. So expect that's what you're going to be paying for. And to fill up the tank fully, it was under $2. And so we had to fill up the tank only once because they gave it to him completely empty. But that one tank of gas lasted us throughout our whole trip and still had plenty left when he returned it the next time. And so getting around, you understand why there's so many people with scooters. And so gas is about 85 cents a liter. And this is all in USD. So yeah, that's kind of like a general kind of outlook of our expenses in Cambodia. We were in like two big cities, so we were definitely paying more expensive prices. So that is kind of the general information I wanted to share with you guys. It gives a little insight to Siem Reap, the quarantine, and Phnom Penh, the expenses that we had in all of those. And so I hope if you are planning on coming that you are a little bit more informed because of this. I hope to see you next time.